Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2747. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and my cock. And you are in the men's room. On tap today, here come the bad jokes bitches. The return of Ted versus the FCC. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack.
Drink it, till drunk. All right, here we go. Coca-Cola announces 4 new flavors and a brand new can, so millennials will actually buy their stuff. The mayor of Vancouver won't run for re-election because he can't afford to live in Vancouver. Dang, and that's pretty rough. Pennsylvania couple puts cat in luggage and tries to fly out of town. Meanwhile, micro-cheating includes dressing really nice when someone you think is hot is around. And the Army goes to war with hockey. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, scientists in Australia, they just successfully tested an electronic pill that you swallow to monitor the flatulence in your stomach. And then you can watch the gas forming in real time on your phone. Now, the sad news, sad news, it'll be at least a few years before it hits the market. So in other words, in a few years, I will finally have a new app on my phone. Now, a lot of people like to pretend that they don't fart or they won't talk about it. And these people, quite simply, are damn liars and damn fools. Because not only does everyone fart, but the average person farts 14 times a day. So let's do the math on this, all right? Say you work with, 4 other people. That's about 70 potential farts a day that you're dealing with. And that doesn't include people you might see along the way. But in spite of the sheer volume of flatulence that we all deal with, there's that one fart that you'll always remember. And we remember different farts for different reasons. Sometimes it was just the smell, the obvious stuff. Sometimes it was just the sound it made, or the location, or maybe the timing of it. For example, farting at a funeral, not a great idea. Either way, today we're talking about memorable fart experiences. And this is what we want to know. Whether it was you or someone else, what is your epic fart story?
Be part of the big show. Call 844-999-OLA. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All the shows, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2747. What a large and in charge program we've got for you today as the bad jokes are coming. Ryan Castle, the drunk in charge, will be in to kick off bad jokes and the return of Ted versus the FCC. And today on the question, we are talking about your epic fart moment, whether from you or someone else. What is your epic fart story?
Yeah, because everyone remembers it, man. Yeah. I mean, just some farts absolutely go above and beyond anything that you think a fart would do. And this is actually true, but believe it or not, this has zero inspiration for today's story. The inspiration is from a story we'll bring you coming up. But this morning, my daughter is going to school, and the rule I have with the kids is when we greet each other or we say goodbye, we give each other a hug and a kiss, right? And I like the rule. It's what we do. So I squat down to give her a hug, and so she runs over and gives me a hug, and then she kind of sits on my left leg, because like I said, I'm in squatting position, and she does that a lot of the times, and she'll chat with me. And this morning, she said, she sits down on my leg, and she goes, hang on a second. Those were her words, and I looked at her, and there's that universal look that everyone has when they're farting, and you see her eyes they go up, but they kind of face a corner, and in my mind, I'm like, that's the fart face, but my daughter wouldn't. Mm-hmm. Like, get the hell off of me. And it didn't matter what I said from this point. She was laughing so hard. Like, it was impossible for her to get in trouble. Like, if I called the cops and they were going to lock her up, she would laugh all the way to prison. And I was like, why did you do that? You know, and then I realized the reason she did that is because she observes me, right? So instead of smoking, she farts on people. But beyond that, what she doesn't know, and I made this decision today because she farted on me. It was intentional that she farted. She took the time to push it out just to fart on my leg. She thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, she's just opened a can of worms that she's going to regret. Because I could fart her into a coma. She has no idea. But now Daddy's bringing the heat. So if we're going to do a fart war, it's on. But
over time, she's going to win.
Over time, she will definitely win.
Your farts, the exit will get looser.
Well,
you'll have to be more protective.
No.
Whereas she's just getting into prime farting time.
The way I
She'll
see
be a
it,
teenager soon, farting her ass off.
The way I see it, she loses.
Farting her ass off.
If I got loose stools, then she definitely loses. But and it's weird because in that moment, I'm like, I cannot believe she just farted on me. And look, she's farted on me before, but never on purpose, at least as far as I know. Today was definitively on purpose, and I thought, like, I'm not angry. I'm not particularly pleased, but oddly enough, 80% of me is proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just this weird thing like, hey, man, you know, you can't just go around and do that to people just because I do it. And I fart around people. I don't fart on people. But I'm like, why do I feel so proud? I don't want to be proud of this. I'm not trying to encourage that, but I can't be mad about this.
No. There was we went, the wife and I went many years ago on a couple days away skiing. So we go up to Canada. And just like anything else, after a full day of skiing, whether you're in shape or not, you are sore. You're just, you know, your body is, you're pretty fatigued and everything. And I want to say the first night we were there was on like a Saturday night or a Friday night. And anytime we wanted to go to the hot tub, and I know, Ted, you're a big hot tub guy.
Love them.
It was just packed. You know what I mean? It was, and you could
outdoor hot tub?
Outdoor hot tub.
Ski resort.
And the pool's not that cold either, but it's cold. Yeah. It's still cold, but it's not as cold. The hot tub is wonderful, but we couldn't get in there because it was packed. And basically, people just go in there, and you could order drinks. You could bring pitchers out. They give you plastic cups and plastic pitchers, and you could go out there and you could drink beer in the hot tub. Well, we couldn't get into the hot tub, so the last night we were there, it might have been a Sunday night or something, there's only 2 dudes in it. So I'm like, all right, hey, let's go down there, man. We can get in the hot tub. So it's freaking freezing. Like, you're in flip-flops. You grab the robe that they give you and everything, but it's still, I mean, keep in mind, it's 20 degrees.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's cold.
It's cold.
So when you initially walk out there, it's a pretty long walk. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. You just strip off as fast as you can. You hang your crap up, and you just get into that hot tub. So that's basically what goes down. Now, there's these 2 dudes in there, and they're college-age kids, and they're from New Zealand, and they're there on holiday, and these guys are having a blast, all right? They are having a great time. They're young. They're drunk. They are loving life. They're in the hot tub. They're drunk. They're having a lot of fun. Now, what you have to envision when you walk up to this hot tub, when I say it's 20 degrees, it's 20 degrees. There is like a hue of a cloud of warm air that you can see from the water. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the hot tub,
yeah, like the steam coming off.
Yeah, it's got this little bubble, and even when you kind of sit down in it, you're in this steamy bubble. And so
that does not sound appealing.
But
I know what you're saying.
Know what I'm saying? It's like just this hot bubble.
Join our steamy bubble.
Right. So we sit down in this thing, man.
Steamy bubble.
We start talking to the guys in front of us, and they run out of beer. So the one guy decides that the other guy should go get it because he got it the last time. It's like you just don't want to get out.
Right.
Basically, that's it. When you're in there, you do not want to get out because it is just bone-chillingly cold when you get out of this thing.
I've done it
at
a ski resort.
So the one guy, he just sits there, and he's like, I'm not going to go. And then the other guy goes, oh, God damn it, Colin, or whatever his name was, and grabs a pitcher and just jumps up, and his buddy's laughing. Like, ha, 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 ha. And then all of a sudden, what smelled like an overturned truck of eggs in the desert.
Smell it.
Comes our way. And I mean, this thing is thick. And he's laughing. He's like, I'm sorry.
Right.
But he's laughing still because of his buddy. But we're just like over there like, oh, God, like this is bad. Like this is bad. Like to the point where I got out from it. I was like, dude. and then when I got out, I jumped out. I'm like, I had to get back in. because it was so cold. And then when you got back in, it was just like you walked right back down into it.
So it only stayed in the warmth.
It just stayed in that little area.
Yeah.
And when his buddy comes back with a pitcher of beer, he's like, "Oh my God, dude!" Now you have to remember we're outside.
Right.
We are outside. This thing will not leave this little heated bubble area of all this stuff.
Stephen King's Under the Dome.
So then another couple comes up and they sit in it, and the woman goes, "Oh my God, oh God, oh God," and the buddy calls his other buddy. I was like, "He farted," but it was like 5 minutes ago. Because he'd already come back with a pitcher, and not only did he come back with a pitcher, he got cups for us because he just kind of felt bad. I think,
Sure.
Whatever. He's like, "Here, have some of our beer," so we're sitting in there. But I swear to God, man, that thing, I mean, after a while, even if there's fart in the room or in the area, you kind of get used to it to the point where it's not as bad as it was before, or like you know what I mean?
Your body has accepted that it's not going anywhere.
This did not happen. Like, you just kept smelling it. Like, it didn't dissipate.
Well, and he farted underwater, so it didn't all come out in one bubble. So about every couple minutes, another bubble of fart comes out.
But why do farts underwater smell so? I mean, look,
Is it
farts
concentrated?
don't smell. I don't know, but like, if you fart in the shower, if you fart in the bathtub and that little bubble pop, but when that thing pops on the surface, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, farting in the shower is gross.
Look, man, I fart pretty much anywhere. That is the one place I really try not to. Sometimes you have to. And you think, this time it'll be different. It's not any different. It's just as bad as it was the last time you made the decision to fart in the shower. And then all you can think is, I want to get out of the shower, and also I feel like the fart's sticking to me.
Yeah.
You feel like you're going to smell like that fart all day. Like, dude, I farted 8 hours ago. I don't know what to tell you. I smell like deodorant and fart.
So his buddy called him out, right? And said, "Hey, you farted."
Yes.
All right. So every year on Easter, I go over to the eastern part of the state and go on a hockey trip with my buddy Steve Miggs, right? He plays hockey. So we're drinking beers and everything the whole time. His other buddies are playing hockey. So this one guy, Munson, he farts in the beer garden at the hockey rink so bad, and he's laughing about it, that it's like clearing the whole beer garden, right? But it's no doubt that it's us. Not only us, it's specific that it's this Munson character, right?
Just because the way he's laughing and all
He's
that.
laughing and he's owning up to it. But I mean, it's awful thrill. Like, think of some of your worst ones like that.
Yeah.
Or one of my worst ones, like on that level of just like, this is awful. So you fast forward hours from now, right? Now we're out at a bar, right? Now there's some people in this bar that are also in town for the hockey tournament. So he floats another fart, right?
No.
And he doesn't say anything this time, but you could see people reacting as the fart's going through. And there's a circle of people. And a girl who had been in the beer garden earlier just turns around and goes, "It was him!"
No way.
Yes! And she calls him right out in the middle of the bar.
I know that accent
I smelled it earlier, you son of a... It was you.
Golly, yeah. Our question today, whether from you or someone else, what is your epic fart story? And we have one here as we go down under, no pun intended. A group of scientists in Australia just completed the first successful test of a new invention, a little electronic pill that you swallow to monitor the flatulence in your stomach. And it actually lets you watch the flatulence forming in real time on your cell phone. It's got a couple practical applications.
Wait a minute, they
say.
took the red pill. Right? So it's like Matrix stuff, right?
It seems that way to track flatulence. You said it has practical applications.
It like seeing what foods give you gas.
Come on, man. You know what foods give you gas.
Actually, you would be not surprised at the foods that give you gas. Like beans, that has always been the musical fruit.
No, I don't think. No, what I'm saying is this:
beans, they say, don't really give you gas.
Not as much as people think. But what I'm saying is this, though. There are foods that may or may not give you gas, and you may or may not know what those foods are. But you know what your average diet is, and you know what foods make you fart. Not the ones that universally make people fart, because, look, some foods make everyone fart. There's some foods that make you fart.
Yeah.
You know, I'm mildly lactose intolerant.
Do you know which foods? I mean, because you're mildly lactose intolerant, you know those foods.
I have no doubt what foods make me fart. The one that bothers me most, honestly, and I don't know what it is. It's not garlic. It's roasted garlic. But I love roasted garlic. And the worst thing is, I mean, it works to me quick. But when you fart, it smells like farts and roasted garlic. And somehow it makes it worse. It makes it worse. If when you fart, it still mildly smells like the food you ate.
I went to In-N-Out Burger and had that.
Right. It's like when you burp.
My In-N-Out Burger.
And your burp tastes like whatever you ate. Even though you like what it tastes like, you don't like it on the flip side. And somehow it makes it grosser, right? So you fart, and it's like, man, and I don't care who you are. Like, I could fart in the studio, and you would tell me, man, I know for a fact you had roasted garlic because I can smell the roasted garlic in and among all the other stuff that comes along with it.
Ted, do you know, can you identify the foods that make you gassy? Because I don't think I can. I don't think I know. Look,
outside of beans and if I eat like a bunch of cheese or like 3 or 4 pieces of pizza, then yeah, I know I'm going to have gas. But I don't think of myself as like super lactose intolerant.
Right.
But just there's a level of cheese where I go, all right.
Well,
we're going to be hurt in the morning.
At some point, your body's going to break down to lactose, right? No question. But like for me, it's just this little itty bitty bit, man. And
the one that I think I can smell the next day is if I eat really good barbecue. I feel like when I fart the next day, it smells a little smoky.
What?
Oh boy!
Well, I mean, on some level, we should feel better because there's something that you smell that you like. But I don't know why, but it makes it so much worse. Like, and I think it's really gross. Like if you fart, and I'm like, Ted, I know you had barbecue last night because you farted, and it kind of smells like barbecue.
Yeah, like I'm not big bathroom talker, but in Dallas. Saturday night, we have a bunch of barbecue. Great barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The next morning, I'm pooping, and I literally yelled out of the bathroom, like, I got just pooped out a whole beef rib. It smells like ribs.
Yeah. What was the,
your mouth water.
What was the, 20 years ago, what was the stuff that they used to they started using in, like, potato chips and stuff that just basically, what ran right through everybody?
What was that was in, like, the baked chips, right?
Yeah, and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, so... that trend happened, and they basically took that off the market, basically because it was giving people gas and diarrhea. So that was the reasoning for that. Now, Mike Hawk has a story coming up about Coca-Cola, and just the other day they announced 4 new flavors of their diet soda, and they also introduced a new can.
Okay.
So the can is more of a taller, skinnier can. And the flavors are
for the Red Bull folks or something?
Cherry Diet or whatever the hell
You're trying to get the LaCroix.
LaCroix,
whatever,
yeah.
They're trying to get the soda water people.
Right, because that's what millennials are drinking more of these days, and they're trying to get more of a millennial crowd. Coca-Cola realizes that the majority of people who are continually buying their products are aging, getting older, and they're not picking up any of the younger demographic to continue their sales.
Right.
So they go and they change all this. Now we have this study. As it says, between the 0-calorie label and the delicious flavor of sparkling waters, it seems like a relatively healthy option for an afternoon drink. But could drinking too much sparkling water give you gas?
I hope so.
There's a very interesting side effect of drinking sparkling water.
You burp a lot.
For the most part, people do feel, they say, maybe a little bit more bloated and gassy. The truth is a little bit more complicated. For the most part, it's a myth that carbonated water gives you gas. But if you're downing a can of sparkling water or a couple of them a day, yeah, you might be prone to some digestive issues, especially they recommend curbing your LaCroix habit.
Doesn't that make sense? And look, I don't know
sparkling water.
I fart every... But like, if you swallow something that essentially is made of bubbles, and not champagne, because obviously you drink more of this than champagne, I hope, in any one city, doesn't it make sense that something that's nothing but bubbles is going to have roughly the same effect, right?
I mean, I guess. I drink a lot of soda water, but I never thought, because like in the morning time, I always got to fart, but I never thought about the 3 or 4 soda waters I'm having at night affecting it.
Do you know the biggest preventer of farting? Do you know how to prevent farts?
Stitch your butt shut. I have no idea.
The other side, belching.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you belch the gas instead of being trapped in your stomach, once it's in your esophagus, get that out of you before you gets down.
No, but why do that? But farting's funny. I mean, that's the difference to me. Like, look, if you burp, you just burp. But when you fart, at least some people, like myself, find it very funny.
Sparkling water is not 100% great for you, they say, beyond causing gas and minor bloating. Drinking too much sparkling water has been linked to teeth erosion due to the acidity. Luckily, however, there are a few ways to minimize the burp and enjoy each sips. They say drink less.
By the way, the additive that they put, and I remember this now, comment came in that reminded me. It wasn't so much about flatulence with whatever it was that they replaced in the chips back in the day.
It was straight up diarrhea, wasn't it?
Anal leakage. Remember? That's what they didn't say diarrhea. But here's the difference. When you have diarrhea, you have diarrhea. And diarrhea is, oh man, I have to go to the bathroom because I'm in that state. Anal leakage is, man, I think maybe I just pooped myself a little. Because when you poop, you poop. Leakage indicates that it was not intentional. So anal leakage is like, well, it's not exactly diarrhea, but by the time you think you have to go to the bathroom, you realize you're already half done.
Yeah, Steve and I had this conversation the other day. It's a strange thing. People don't like to talk about it. It's one of those underbelly things, or no one wants to mention that it happens.
Leakage?
Just the idea of, like, most of the time you go to the bathroom, you're going to go number one.
Yeah, actually, that was kind of the conversation.
Or you're going to go number two. Or you're going to go number two.
Yeah.
But sometimes you slip, or maybe it's just what's going on downstairs, and you just need to go in there and wipe and get out.
Well, we'd said there were, and not all the time. But
You're talking about not actual pooping, but you just need to go in and wipe?
Well,
right, yeah.
Miles was talking about an incident, and I said, man, how many times, all the years we've been doing this radio show, there's times where it's not even like you slipped on a fart. So it's not that. It's just in the course of doing the show, you're not bringing it up on the air, and we're not bringing it up to each other, but somewhere in the back of your head, you're like, I might be leaking into my underwear. Like, I am getting swampy and uncomfortable, and then you go into the bathroom, and you're like, oh, my God, man.
The other day, right when I walked in my door, I started getting sick. It was the first day that I was really, really sick. Thank God it was right when I walked in my door. But I do have this flight of steps that I've got to go up right away. So I'm clinching, you know what I mean? Because it's carpet. And I'm wearing shorts. And
it's your house.
And it's my house. And
that specifically.
If it was hardwoods, would have been okay.
I could have cleaned it up
easier, man.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
a lot easier.
Like, I don't want to... it's me. It'd be different if it was the dog.
Sure.
I'd be like, oh, yeah, but I don't have a dog. I couldn't explain this to you.
You couldn't.
Oh, dude, you ruined your carpet. Me. Yeah, I don't want to have
But you sound like you walked in your door, you opened your door, and it was...
I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. We were just having a random conversation about this, and it just happened to me with a sickness.
But how did you not control... Like, it just seems like when you got to go, somehow you have that ultimate kung fu grip.
You know what it is? You know when you really got to go and you can just feel it, everything going on, but the closer you seem to get, even if you've been holding it for 15 minutes or 2 hours, the closer you get to being able to let go, it's your body's already like in fast forward motion, like, come on, get there, buddy. You know what I mean? And I didn't get there. I didn't make it. Whether from you or proud moment. And then I just took off my pants and put everything in the washing machine. And I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. Whether from you or someone else, what is your epic fart story? 844-999-HOLA. Hold the line. More of your calls on the way. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitch, hola. You have entered the men's room.
Bad jokes coming up. Email the bad jokes to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. We will kick off the bad jokes right before we drink and toast with the shot of the day. Our question, whether from you or someone else, what is your epic fart story? 844-999-HOLA.
Hello, Robert. Welcome to the men's room.
Got real specific.
Hola.
Hello, Robert.
Robert.
Hola. Didn't mean to interrupt your conversation there.
Sorry about that. Harass the folks in the office.
Gotcha.
So what is your epic fart story?
12, 13 years old. A buddy of mine were out in his father's garage, and we were, let's say, hefty young men. We were using the air compressor in our armpits and the neck and all this sort of thing to just make epic fart noises. Because we're, peak fart hilarity, 13 years old.
Sure.
But he decides he's going to get the grandiose idea to put this air compressor in between his cheeks to, really imitate the noise.
Oh, no.
First couple, 3 go off without a hitch. Fourth one, you see him pull the trigger. No noise, but his eyes get huge. Drops the compressor handle and takes off running into the house. I'm in hot pursuit because I'm already laughing. I go, there's no way. He makes it into the bathroom, slams the door, and you can hear this. It's not even a trumpet. It's gone full tuba. It's just echoing through off the walls. It's an air enema.
How long? He
could have killed himself.
Well, sure. But how long did the fart go on?
In my head, at 13 years old, it was probably minutes, but honestly, it was less than that. But a good 30 seconds, easy. I'm turning blue. I'm laughing so hard I can barely breathe out in the hallway. And you can just hear him kind of groaning and whining about it. But the initial purge lasted, a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds. But then the rest of the day, he was walking around looking half sick and just letting off the most insanely long farts.
No, you're right, though. It's an air enema. You put it in there, your body's like, nope. Time to get it out. And then probably whatever additional fart material he had up there. Like, let's just do it all at once.
Oh, yeah. No, you could hear the impact of the material and the water. It was intense.
I don't know why it makes me so happy. It just does. But, you're right. You're at the right age. And, like, right now, my son is very proud because he's learned to make himself burp. Which, again, to me, it's a rite of passage. Like, right, knock yourself out. So he's kind of bragging, humble bragging that he can do this now. And I showed him up, like, come on, man, you can do it like this, do the big burps. The thing that blew his mind, though, I said, can you do an armpit fart yet? And he looks at me like, what is that? So, you stick your hand under the armpit and do it. In my son's eyes, I'm next to God right now. And I know it's pathetic. I know it's sad, but this was the greatest. I believe this was just last weekend. I did it. So I did a couple of loud ones real quick, and then you do it slow, get the real whistly one. And he just thinks this is the most amazing thing. What I like about it is for about the next 15 minutes, I realize
he's just walking around with a chicken wing trying to figure out how to do it.
He's sitting in the corner doing everything he can, trying to come up with a fart. He can't master it. And I said, look, man, I can't really show you how it's done. You just got to cup it, get it right. But once you do it, you're going to be able to do this for the rest of your life. And your dad's 48, and guess what? It still ain't old. Mm. It never, ever
I haven't tried that in a while.
The armpit fart?
Yeah.
Come on, give it a try.
No, I don't know if you...
Dude, honestly, I could never do it either.
No.
Come on, man.
I can't do it anymore. That's you.
I always use two hands over my mouth.
What do you got? What kind of sound can you get? Because I was never good. I couldn't get like a good juicy.
Hang on, let me get a little...
All right, come on, get
wet the whistle.
All right.
Now we'll take a break, man.
All right. After this, I'll make a fart sound.
With your mouth.
With my mouth and hands.
I can do my ears as well.
Oh, God. Our stations are going to jump on in a second here and hear this for the first time. Our question, whether from you or someone else, what is your epic fart story? 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.